Hey, how you going? Hey, if you're in Melbourne, Australia, hope you're enjoying a beautiful day today. It's been nice and sunny this morning. And yeah, so I'm going to show you how to plug a tyre today. So old Donald got a bit of a flat. So I thought I'd show you how to plug a tyre up. And I guess also too how to change the tyre. So I can't change the tyre because it's good old spares flat. So yeah. Anyways, so first things first, in your boot, take your stuff out of your boot, including the dog, kitchen sink, whatever else you got in there. Always fun when you got to get the spare out. So in your boot, most cars will have the spare located under here, or you might have a space saver up on the side or something. But anyway, so get your spare out and you should have a jack and tools in there too. So I've got my spare out, my jack, my wheel brace, typical spare, flat. So alright, so with your wheel brace, you'll have an end on it like that. One frame. There. You'll have an end on it like that, pointy sort of end. That's so if you've got hubcaps, to remove your hubcaps, you just put it in somewhere, just gently turn it a little bit, move around a bit more. You'll see it starts wiggling off. If they're nice and tight like these ones, just go around a little bit further. And that pops off. And then if your wheel nuts aren't done up too tight, you should be able to easily enough loosen them off. Or if you have to, sort of try not to jump too hard on there, but you can put a bit of pressure and just sort of turn it like that. Otherwise, yeah, as I say, if they're not too tight, you should be able, oh shit, they are. Yeah, alright, don't try not to do that. And all you want to do is just back them off a little bit. So all you're doing is breaking the seal. So when we lift the car up on the jack, then the wheel nuts will be easier to undo. Alright, underneath your car there should be little marks where your jack goes. Pop your little jack in there. Now, move this a bit. Yeah, so be little marks underneath your car on the sill where your jack goes. So just line it up in there, wind it up as tight as you can by hand. You should lock in pretty tight. And then we do this fun part. The joys of it all. Or there is another way you can do this too. If you've got a trolley jack handy, makes life a lot quicker and easier. And don't forget, make sure your handbrake's on just for safety. They're not just there to do quick U-turns. Apparently they're good for safety. Anyway, yeah, so jack the car up. And then with wheel nuts, because they broke the bead on them before, you can sit there and go like this. Hold, like if you rest your hand on the inside, you can spin them around pretty easy sometimes. Otherwise, yeah, have the fun process of doing that. Or there's another way. You can cheat. And you take your wheel off, and then pop your good spare tyre on, and then just do the process backwards. So with this tyre, I actually knew that I ran over a big screw, so you can kind of check your tyre around, and then might come across something like that. And if that be the case, you need to get a little plug kit. So these are just plug kit I use in my four-wheel drive. So you get these little rubber strips. So you basically use them to plug the hole up. Normally you get a little lubricant tube as well. You can use Vaseline or grease or some kind of lube. And then yeah, that's to push a little rubber string in, and then the drill bits to clean the tyres out. Yeah, I've got a few because I've used a few of these kits in my 4B. Alright, so basically with the item, whatever's stuck in your bloody tyre, yeah, you can unscrew it out or whatever. So this one I actually just pushed in there because for look good on the camera. So pull that out, mark your tyre so you know where it is or something, and then what we do is we use this tool first. So make sure you've cleaned, if it was say it had been ground off, make sure you've got everything out and just make sure your hole's pretty clear. So you get this tool, the reaming tool, and we put it in there like so, and then it's going to pause this for a sec. So use two hands, like one hand just rests on the tyre, gives you better stability, and then you want to make sure you clean that hole out really good. And what you do is get one of these strings. So I've done a few of these already before, but if it's the first time, I strongly recommend use the whole stick. But yeah, I'm a bit tight with them, so I just use half ones because I have to use a bit of my 4-wheel drive. So now you load this up into the T-handle with the, I don't know, that bit. So you just sort of, I don't know, I'm going to do this, but anyway, does that sort of work? Yeah. All right, so you kind of just, feed that through in there. All right, so you feed that through in there, and then what you do is you can see on the end, it's got a little opening. Is it going to focus? No. Anyway, come on. Anyway, there's a little end, on the end it's got an opening. So when you yank it out, that will open up and stretch over your little rubber plug. So anyway, you put lubricant over this and over the tip of that. You can lube up the hole a little bit too, just makes it quicker and easier. And then what you do is we're going to get that and push it in. Now, I don't have any grease or anything handy with me right now. So two options we can use is I'm just going to use this spider spray, just gives me a little bit of lube quickly. Or another thing you can do too is, especially if it's an older car, jump underneath the car somewhere quickly. Donald's pretty clean, but otherwise surely sometimes you can just find a bit of grease down here or something, and then get that, lube that up on your fingers, and then use that for your plug. On my Pajero, my turbo leaks, so I've got a nice little supply of greasy oil whenever I need it. So yeah, all I'm going to do is get my Mortine, go watch out spiders, get away from there. And then on here too, same, pretty dodgy, but does the job. Alright, so then all we do now, I don't know if I'll be able to get this on camera, but stuffed it out. That's why you use turd. Alright, that's why sometimes you use them when they're longer. One hand is hard. So using a full length one now, just so when I do pop it in, I'm going to pause it though because I don't want to lose another one. But anyway, just one sec. Okay, so when the plug's in like that, just sort of pop it in a little bit, and then all you do is when you bring your tool out, I like to sort of just gently twist it a little bit and play with it, and you'll kind of feel when it gets to like a hard spot, and then when it does that, just 1, 2, 3, and then that plug there will wear off as you drive the car. That hole's plugged up pretty nicely now, and basically now just pump the tyre up. Alright, if you've got a servo nearby, or a petrol station, it's handy to use their air pumps. Try to keep the hose straight, it just pumps the air a bit easier, a bit quicker. Oh, fucks. Alright, now. Alright, strongly recommend going to a servo to pump your tyre up. But just be careful not to overinflate it. Oh. Alright, so when we put the tyre back on, if you've been away from the car, make sure your U-turn switch is turned back on, or your handbrake, some people call it, just for safety. And then one thing I like to do, I don't really want to be under there and have this fall on me, just give it a little nudge. Alright, so careful when you lift it up, but it can be heavy. Line up your holes with your wheel studs, and then get one nut, and then these are a bit tight, but alright, screw it on pretty much as tight as you can by hand. Then give the wheel a little wiggle, and just make sure it looks flush and center on here, or like flat on there, whatever you like, you'll see. And then just do your nut up hand tight. It's going to stop the wheel moving around a little bit, and it just makes putting the other nuts on a bit quicker and easier. If you're going to cheat like I'm going to in a second, then make sure you do put these on a couple of threads, 3 or 4 turns, just so you don't cross thread with impact gun. Otherwise, if you're doing it the hard way, get your wheel brace. Oh, impact gun. And then just remember, if you're using the gun, or same with the wheel brace too, you go across each time. So we'll go from here, like top one to the bottom, then go to this corner, and this corner, and this corner, then back to the start again. Alright, and then to check the tightness, basically just go like again, do the same kind of pattern. And the reason you do the pattern is so you get it tightened on properly and evenly. Otherwise, if you had this one tightened up really tight and that one not on at all, the wheel can go in a slight angle. And then just go around, double check them. So wheel nuts are not meant to be done super tight where they're going to snap off. They're meant to hold a wheel on nice and flat. So if your wheel nuts are ever too hard to take off, then it's not a good thing at all. Alright, so they're tight now. We'll let the jack down. So if you're using your little shitty wind-up jack, just make sure that, like when you're winding it down, that it is separate from the car before you try to pull it out, just for safety. Alright, and as you can see, the tyre's still a bit flat. So, again, 2 ways we could do this. Quickly screw this guy on here, keep pumping away, sweating out for a bit. And to put a hubcap back on, if your car's got hubcaps, you'll see you got like your valve cap hole. And if you look in, you see a little wire ring. So when you put it on the wheel, your valve cap goes basically in, like that way. You'll see anyway. So if it's on one side of the wire, it'll be jammed up hard, sort of out the way or whatever it's hard to get to. If it's on the other side of the wire, it'll be sitting nicely in the center. Alright, so your valve goes on top of that wire. So make sure it's under the wire, line up your valve nice and centered. And if you don't want to lose your hubcaps, go all the way around, especially with old cars. So they're nice, they clip in nice and tightly. Alright, so with me spare that was actually flat. Oh, the tyre's a bit knackered too. Wow, that's really knackered. So that was a spare I had to drive home with. But what I'm gonna that's what I was gonna do, sorry. So what I'm gonna do is try to find a hole in this, and I'll just show you that quickly, a way you can do that. Alright, so obviously if it's flat and we're trying to find a hole, and it's not obvious because this one just had a slow leak, so we put our connect our air supply on, start pumping the tyre up, and then when the tyre is pumped up, if it's got a decent sized hole in it that we can use a plug for, then so with this one, you can hear that leaking, the valve. So, still sometimes an easy fix. Oh, fruit, I might way out. So with some tyre plug repair kits, they do come with valves as well. So you just basically pop the valve out, replace it. So with this actual spare, for me to get home, because I pump the tyre up in the car, I carry electric air compressor with me. What I pretty much done was put a bit of saliva on the valve cap and then screwed that on like that. That was able to get me home. Tyre stays pumped up for about an hour before it goes flat. So, what I'm going to do to remove the valve, this is just a tyre deflator. So this is a tyre deflator that I use when I go four-wheel driving. So it's got this nifty little, is it going to let me show it? Yeah. So it's got this nifty little tool there. That's for removing the actual valve stem out of the, the actual like valve rubber out of the valve stem boot thing, whatever. I'm not sure what they're called. So all you do is you screw this onto the valve, and then you make sure that's pushed all the way down. Then you'll unwind that, and when you feel it going click, 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 because the valve on this side has hit the thread, then you pull that out like that, and the valve will pop out. I might try to zoom that right in, see if that works. So where are we? There. Alright, cool. Does that kind of work? Oh yeah. So. Alright, so screw this bit onto here. And then you push that down, and then if you adjust, is it going to do it? You push that down, and that's also how you can release air. Otherwise, you gently push down on it, untighten it, and you'll feel it clicking. When it's clicking, it's because the thread in here has come all the way to the end. Pop that up, and then you know why it's not releasing down this. It's gone pretty flat already. Then unscrew from the base, that's connected onto your valve stem, and then that there is the actual valve. So oh wow, okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before, but sorry, so I'll bring up to the camera. Yeah, focus for me. No, alright. I don't know how to get that to focus, but so that's a little valve. So what it does is, I'll do that. Yeah, cool. Alright, so that's a little valve. So what it does is that would be pushed into your valve stem that way, and then you can see that little rubber in there, so that pushes up on that spring, and then when you push the valve in here, which is the bit we can see outside, that'll push that down, which is that's the air in or out, whatever. And then here you've got a little rubber too, and then you've got that little sort of copper or brass seal there. So anyway, so this seal's obviously connected on it. If I was in a out four-wheel driving, a thing you could try to do is just give that a clean up, or get the good old trusty Mortine onto it if you have to. It's an emergency situation. Lube that up quickly. We'll give this a quick try anyway, just for shits and giggles. So I'll put that valve back in, and then just keep the thread nice, just a couple of turns gently, and screw that back onto your valve stem. Screw the valve in, and when that's screwed in, undo your tyre deflator again, and there you go. It looks like normal again. Now what we'll do is, we'll do a quick test. I'm optimistic, but you never know. Alright. Oh, hang on. Alright, there you go. That's pretty dodgy, but hey, good old Mortine. So, there you go. Do I get sponsored by Mortine now? Mortine for fixing tyres. and killing spiders. Keeps the spiders off your tyres, keeps the spider, you don't get cobwebs in the valves. Good, like, yeah. Oh, well, there you go, look at that. So yeah, probably don't do that, it's a bit dodgy, but if you're stuck and you need to get home, not a bad idea. Actually, I'm going to put that back in my boot, so I might see, I might put a bit more air in it. So next time you're stuck out on the side of the road, don't forget your little puncture repair kit, and just, most of all, don't overinflate. It's not worth the energy, I'm sure of it. Whew. Anyway, good little bike pump there. I always look a bit of saliva on the end of those caps, just because then I guess if it's leaking you see little bubbles popping out. Yeah, so I'll put this guy back in the boot. Far out, that's knackered. Might actually be better off just going in the bin. Yeah, well, I hope that was helpful. I hope someone learnt how to change a tyre, and hope those little pluggy things made sense. Don't try to do it one-handed if you're going to be a tight ass and cut them in half, because it doesn't actually work. Or either that or mortine's just too good as a lubricant. That's about it. Alright, well, have a great afternoon, and yeah, please like, comment and subscribe. Comment if you've got any ideas of any content I can do, because kind of need some ideas. Yeah, I want to grow a YouTube channel. Just I need to be able to help people out, motivational awareness, and yeah, just I don't know, help everyone enjoy 2023 a little bit more, hopefully. So I hope you all have a beautiful afternoon. Love and light, enjoy. And everyone in Melbourne, get out in the sun for a little bit. It's such a beautiful day today. Alright, love you all, be good.